Margaret Davies scrubs and scrubs, but she knows she'll just have to refinish the deck. At least the spot where she found the dead sheep this morning. Not that she could recognize the animal at first. The poor dear had been bludgeoned and torn to shreds, hopefully in that order. By the looks of it, the sheep had already bled into the wood for hours before Maggie, mug of breakfast tea in hand, rounded the corner and spotted the rotting shape outside the sliding glass door. The sight could have ruined her morning, but one only gets so many mornings, or at least that's what Kathy always said. So when Maggie found the sheep, she simply sat down at the table, sipped her tea, and watched the sated flies buzz against the glass before standing with a sigh to gather tarp, brush, and bucket. The faint glint of an ear tag under the rising sun was how she ended up identifying the creature. Not one from her own flock, thankfully. It was from her neighbor's farm down the road. But it didn't matter whose it was. What mattered was where it had been placed. Everyone on Otter's Island knew it had been a bad summer. What remained of the sheep's wool was stained a deep, almost black shade of crimson, except for two perfect white rings around its bent and broken hind legs. The front limbs were missing. Typical, Maggie thought, when she noticed their absence. The face had been brutalized to the point that it was no longer a face, really, just a bloody snout protruding from the carnage. First, Maggie rolled the ewe, it was female, she could tell that much, onto the tarp, wrapped it up, then dragged it down the deck stairs, the carcass thumping sickeningly against each step. Crows waiting in the surrounding firs had already discovered the body by the time Maggie finished vaulting back up the steps, 2 at a time, to keep limber and stave off osteoporosis. Kathy would have been proud, always begging Maggie to go on those long walks she took out to the overlook, where you could see Canada on a sunny day. But Kathy's mornings ran out last year. At least her wife hadn't died like this sheep, suddenly and violently. Although perhaps she would have preferred that to chemotherapy and anacortes. Margaret Davies scrubbed